Hello and welcome back to Inquisitor Martyr. Last time we rescued Omicron Ark and cleared out more of the feral beasts. We gotta deal with some more now, but we dealt with them and are just keeping on with our Psyker. Oh, between missions I got a new staff. This one's another Pyrokinetic one. Actually, no, I'm just going to show you it. I haven't dumped my inventory yet. But yeah, here it is, Pyrokinetic staff. Thunderbolt of Authority, so the seasonal thing where I just shoot a lightning bolt out of my butt. That now deals bonus damage against anybody who isn't a trash tier minion. And then I got this, the Psychic Focus, which is a far better... I forgot to switch my ability. I saw the word bleeding and I was like, oh, I could use hemorrhage. Except I don't have hemorrhage equipped because I just jumped ahead without thinking. I'm kinda dumb. I'll be honest. Oh well. I will say, I hope with the Sororitas DLC we get a few more weapons for the Psyker. Because already we're kind of capped out on all his staffs. Like, there's one I haven't gotten a good one of. It's like a weird staff. W-Y-R-D. Word? Weird? Wired? One of the three pronunciations. English is a fun language. But it shoots like 3 homing darts, which I think is pretty cool. I might be able to do some cool stuff with that if I build right. Also have a perk slot, which I have... when I crit, I can put a vulnerability to that damage on the enemy, which should help me in the long run here. I'm just gonna re-up that. I also got I think a heal on hit, which for a slower attacking ability isn't very useful, but hopefully it pans out. I could have got one that gives me better, like, warp heat things, but I don't know. It might be a better option later down the road. I haven't decided on it yet. I thought I was going to trigger that trap so that I could get more kills, and then I remembered as it exploded. I have an AoE damage thing on me. Yeah, I've really warmed up to this class. I think initially it's hard to get the drive to play it. Whoa, nearly died from mines. Part because, you know, I have you guys. I have my audience who, you know, you guys come back and that drives me to keep playing this. And it's like, oh yeah, I can do that. And I think part of it too is once you get past like the first, honestly, 8 levels, this class gets actually really fun. It's just that initial startup. I got so used to playing as like the Crusader, where it's just like, yeah, get a grenade launcher, yeah, get a heavy plasma cannon and just shell a position. Yeah, use an assassin and body some nerds with a sniper rifle. But then this, it's like, swing the stick. And when you're used to big bombastic explosions, just swinging the disco stick around just isn't that fun. But then once you get a little further, you get some better staves, you start understanding your abilities and you can tweak them a bit. You suddenly are like, oh, I can actually bust dudes up with this. I just have to take a second. And of course, now having taken that second, I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually pretty cool. And it makes me more excited for the Sororitas because it makes me wonder how she's gonna work. Because there's a lot of possibilities, and considering Sisters of Battle have always had Like, they have their faith-based stuff, but then they're also general infantry. I don't think they're going to be... Oh, see, they could go and be actually still heavy weapons, because you have, like... Oh my god, I want to say Castellans, but I don't think that's the right term. They have, like, heavy weapons soldiers with multi-meltas and stuff like that. I can't remember their ranks. As much as I enjoy the sisters, I never remember their ranks. I struggle to remember Space Marine, like, designations. I remember Devastator because it's obvious, and because when I'd play Dawn of War, that's all I used. I just pump out dev team after dev team, plasma cannons, and when I just line them up, be like, yep, I hope the AI doesn't rush me, and then the AI would send guys, and I'm just like, well, sucks to suck, and they would just get blown away by, 24 plasma cannon shots screaming in at once. God, now I'm thinking about Dark Nexus Arena. Yeah, my mind hops a lot. But I'm just thinking, because I was thinking about the blasting guys away with shots, and then I was like, oh yeah, it'd be cool to have a PvP 40K game with, like, Titanfall-esque AI running around. And then I remembered that I had the idea for that kind of MOBA-style game that I still am working on. It's kind of taken a backseat lately, because I can't focus on one thing ever in my life. But I was thinking about that, and I was like, that would be cool. And then I realized, hey, Psykers and different things like that could be entire classes players could choose, and yeah, there's some interesting things you can do with that. Now I'm gonna have to work on that again tonight, because I like where my mind is at right now. This could be good. And because I was struggling for classes for some of them. Chaos especially, because I was still unsure whether I want to do, like, you pick a team, like your team votes, and then from there you get your class choices. Because then you're gonna... As I say that, I realize that's gonna be a big problem. Because I'm looking at, like, League of Legends, where dudes will be like, if I don't get, Renekton top, I'm going to feed. And then the other team picks a Renekton, and the guy's just like, well, time to be a douche. And it's like, dude, we couldn't have stopped that. Or it's, guy picks to be like, oh, I can play mid, or, like, jungle. And someone else has mid or something, and they call mid, and then the guy's like, I want a mid. It's like, then just pick mid. Don't queue up as jungle if you're not going to play jungle. And then the guy ends up feeding, or the one I will always refer to, the guy who played Twisted Fate while I was playing Thresh, and decided, I'm going to be ADC, and I was like, dude, it's not going to go well. And then he got mad at me for not protecting him when he would go in constantly. And I'm like, dude, it's not my fault you picked a character who doesn't really do ADC all too well. And it was against, like, a Caitlyn, so he was just getting bodied at range. I'm like, dude, I can't save you from everything. I am not Superman. I'm just a dude with a lantern. I remember that, because I was playing with a friend of mine, and he afterwards, I'm like, yeah, I'm done playing for a while. He's like, was it that bad? I was like, I just hate dealing with people. And it's true. MOBAs bring out some of the worst in humanity, I swear. Like I was talking about last time, the dudes who tell devs to kill themselves or send death threats, those are the kind of people I always encounter in League. Just the absolute dregs of society. I'm like, why do you people congregate here? On one hand, it's nice you all play this game so that I know where to avoid. But damn, why are there so many of these people? I just hate people who are dicks. Simple as that. You know, everybody's running their own race. You don't have to try to trip other people up. Everybody's playing games to have fun. Even when some people's fun is being like a turbo sweat, that's fine, but just don't be an ass about it. Speaking of being an ass, I had to laugh. I saw an article about I think it was Kotaku, so of course, you know, top-notch writing there, and people who are very cognizant of gaming and the zeitgeist that it's in currently. And they're like, Halo Infinite has a lot of people shooting bodies. I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm surprised you haven't noticed them dunking their nuts on people's faces, too. I mean, it's a new thing that totally hasn't been happening for the past 20 years. Like, that, to me, that is people, that's written by someone who has clearly never played a shooter. Because shooting a body after they're dead, that's always been a mark of disrespect. You know, people do that in COD. People do that everywhere. It's an attempt at doing some BM. Is it good? I mean, I've never been tilted by it. Hell, I teabag people to make them angry. It's all part of my grand strategy. Especially in Battlefield. I riddle a place with claymores, teabag a guy, and get him angry, and he chases me into the claymores. It works more often than I'd like to admit. It's kinda sad. Funny, but also incredibly sad. Hey, the Aether Blade. I think that's a two-handed weapon? Kill enemies with Psyker skills. Oh. That's actually probably really useful for me. Oh, it's a one-handed. What's its ability? Aether Strike. Long-range phasing attack. Hell, I might use that. If I just, like, blink to dudes, do some Omaiwa Mu Shindaru kind of stuff, I'm down. Warp Bra, is it... Yeah, it's better. What am I smoking? And, I mean, I'm not using the thing, so let's just use it. I'm sitting here hemming and hawing it like, I don't know. I'm not using the stupid sword. I might as well just swap it out. Armor... No, I don't really need more abilities. Psychic buffs, or psychic combat, we'll just get that done. I'm almost finished with this. I might grab that, I don't know. It's still kinda iffy. Now let's actually grab the ability correctly. Switch sets. Yeah, we're gonna switch Molten Beam. Okay, so Hemorrhage, and then we're gonna go into this. Increases area of effect. Might be useful. Adds vulnerability. Also useful. Okay, so we're gonna do cooldown reduction. No, not cooldown reduction. Heat cost reduction, that's 4 points. Easy save. Increase effectiveness, that does nothing. I'm just gonna use this then. That's not useful either. Because it's physical. Let's add shock to it. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Only affects targets in suppressed suppression. That's a word. That's a word combo right there. That is a good debuffer, realistically. So we'll give that a whirl. If I hate it, I'll switch it out.
Inquisitor. I am Inquisitor.
Yep. That's other missions. Irrelevant. Omicron. Thank you. Let's go get... Actually, can I break this stuff down? Yeah! Break down everything, please. I probably could have actually boosted the tech tree, but... whatever. That's the only one that's really important here. Otherwise... yeah, these are all not really relevant right now.
I'm in. Tech priest?
Alright, let's try this. Damn. Okay, that's cool. I'm using that. Takes a while to recharge, though. I'm noticing that. Whatever. I'm sure I can find a cooldown reduction move. Or like an item that gives it to me. I'm not too concerned. Walking around here shooting, like snap my fingers causing fireballs like I'm Roy Mustang. You! Yeah, I really wish the textures on that would fix, or get fixed. That's kind of annoying. Not the worst thing in existence, it's just... it's enough that you notice it. I wonder if I'm gonna have any weird texture issues like I've had with the assassin. Or like, I'd go into my inventory and she'd be all yellow. Or her head would be missing. I mean, I can figure out... I can make a rough guess as to what happens when that is going on. I think it's just failing to load whatever inventory item that's supposed to be. So like I like to use the seasonal head that is the skull mask, because I'm edgy and think skulls are neat and it's 40k, there's skulls everywhere, so why not on my face? But it might be that it's not calling that item correctly, or it might not be calling armor correctly, or something along those lines where it's just a slight mistake and it fixes itself. It's just an odd chance of it happening. I'm not gonna sit here and be like some people and go, oh, the game's trash, because nah. Glitches happen everywhere. Especially these days, I'm more shocked if a game isn't glitchy. Let's test this out. Oh yeah, you just zip right in there. This is some anime lunge into a dude kind of stuff. I'll have to tweak my loadout a bit, but I do like... if it had a faster cooldown, I would be all for it. Because I think it'd be cool just to jack my damage and then just start linking to dudes. I think that's where the cool factor would really kind of peak out. There's definitely something I can rock. Empyrean armor, I think that's the bad stuff. If I remember correctly. Sentry pillar.
Warning. Alarm system activated.
Don't mind me, just interacting with a pillar. Yeah, send those nurglings one at a time. watching stupid nerdlings die.
First override sequence has been initiated. Proceed to the second sentry pillar.
It's kind of funny considering, like, now, compared to the last time I did this, destroying stuff is actually worthwhile, because it can drop loot. Sometimes. I know the barrels are great for loot. But so it's like, okay, now I need to make sure I run against a wall and blow up every yellow and blue barrel I see. God, I do like that kind of Warframe Excalibur slash dash kind of move going on. I can vibe with that. Did my pillar really end right there? Alright, let's crack this supply box open. Not because I need it, but because I need it for a challenge, I think. Guess I'm not getting those one set of credits there. Or I am, I just have impeccably long arms. I'm like Stretch Armstrong.
Warning. Alarm system activated.
Oh, I was looking on the forums for the Sororitas stuff, trying to see if there's a release date. Because, you know, I want to know when the release date is. And I was looking, and I was a bit disappointed because, one, they refused to give a release date, which is always irksome. But then you had people who were like, hey, so will I be able to complete this season with the, you know, the Sororitas? And I was like, that's actually a good question. Yes, it is kind of a sneaky way of saying, hey, will it be out soon? But considering seasons are like 4 to 6 months, I figure, you know, that's at least that is a general time frame to give. That's not like, will it be done June 22nd? It's just like, hey, is it going to be done in the next 6 months? And I think that's a very reasonable request. Be like, hey, saying it's coming soon has kind of become a pointless gesture for a lot of people. Because, like, I'm one of those guys who played, and still does play Warframe. Soon, TM has become kind of a joke.
A demon host? What have we been...
Yeah, demon host! But, you know, we'd be told, like, oh, this is coming soon. The new war. Oh, this is coming soon. Back in, like, 2019. It's been a while. So it's one of those things where, you know, even if it's like, hey, we plan on it being done by this time, even if you just say no promises, I would be cool with that, because then it's like, okay, I have an idea. It may not work out, but at least I have a rough idea of, you know, what to expect when. But they're just like, oh, you might be able to, seeing as we warn you a month before the season ends. And I was like, that didn't answer a damn thing. But so there was that, and then people were like, hey, so is it gonna be like a bigger expansion? Are we gonna get like Tzeentch or Slaanesh? Are we just gonna get the faction or like the class? What are we looking at? And they're like, oh, we can't tell you. I'm like, you can say, hey, there's gonna be a new group of enemies. That's very ambiguous, and I think it's enough for players to be like, oh, okay, I'm getting something. It's not just a class. I feel like I'm getting more for my money, potentially. I know it's whiny and it's a stupid thing to complain about, but it's something where it's like, it's just enough disclosure that I think it gives players understanding of what's to come without being like, it's coming out this day. If not, you can come to the studio and whoop our asses. You know, it's just enough to... It's not even like setting anything in stone. It's better than a soon. Soon is always a feeble as can be response, in my eyes. I gotta say, from level 5 to 18 in 4 episodes is pretty good. And with that, I'm going to call it here. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.